Greenland, the world's largest island. A land where nearly 80% of the surface is buried beneath a massive ice sheet, some places more than 3 kilometers thick. Despite the harsh climate, brutal winters, and seemingly endless wilderness, Greenland is far from lifeless. In fact, some of Earth's most remarkable animals call this frozen world home. From polar bears stalking the sea ice, to prehistoric-looking musk oxen roaming the tundra, to whales that navigate icy fjords and foxes that survive temperatures colder than many freezers, Greenland's wildlife represents one of nature's greatest success stories. These animals have evolved extraordinary adaptations to survive where few others can. But today, this Arctic paradise faces unprecedented change. As temperatures rise and ice retreats, Greenland's wildlife is entering a new chapter, one filled with both challenges and uncertainty. This is a story of Greenland's wild inhabitants. This is Greenland wildlife. Before we meet Greenland's animals, we need to understand the environment they call home. Greenland covers more than 2 million square kilometers, making it the largest island on Earth. Yet much of that area is covered by ice. Only a narrow band of coastline remains ice-free year-round. This is where most plants grow, where wildlife gathers, and where humans have lived for thousands of years. The Arctic environment is defined by extremes. Winter can bring months of darkness. Temperatures often plunge well below freezing. Violent storms sweep across the landscape. Food becomes scarce, and survival is never guaranteed. Yet when summer arrives, something remarkable happens. The sun barely sets. Plants bloom rapidly. Millions of birds arrive from distant continents. Whales return to coastal waters. And Greenland briefly transforms into one of the most productive ecosystems in the Arctic. Every animal living here has evolved to take advantage of this short window of abundance. Some migrate thousands of kilometers. Others store fat. Many grow thick, insulating coats. All are specialists. And perhaps no specialist is more iconic than Greenland's most famous predator, the polar bear, known in Greenlandic as Nanik, the largest land predator on Earth. Adult males can reach lengths of 3 meters and weigh more than 800 kilograms. Yet despite their enormous size, polar bears are surprisingly agile. They can swim for days, travel more than 100 kilometers without stopping, and navigate one of the harshest environments on the planet. Many people think of polar bears as land animals, but scientists often describe them as marine mammals. Their lives revolve around sea ice. Sea ice is their hunting platform. Without it, catching prey becomes dramatically harder. Their favorite food is the ringed seal. A polar bear may wait patiently beside a seal breathing hole for hours, sometimes even longer. The moment a seal surfaces for air, the bear strikes with explosive speed. Success isn't guaranteed. In fact, most hunting attempts fail. But when a bear does make a kill, it can consume enormous amounts of food in a single meal. Greenland hosts one of the Arctic's most important polar bear populations. Bears are especially common in northern and northeastern regions, where sea ice remains more stable. Female bears face an extraordinary challenge. In autumn, pregnant mothers leave the sea ice and dig dens into deep snowdrifts. Around the new year, tiny cubs are born. Each weighs less than a kilogram, blind, helpless, completely dependent on their mother. For months they remain hidden beneath the snow. Only in spring do they emerge into the Arctic world. The cubs will stay with their mother for more than 2 years. During this time, she teaches them everything they need to survive. How to hunt, how to travel, how to avoid danger. It is one of the longest periods of parental care among carnivores. But today, the polar bear faces its greatest challenge: climate change. As Arctic temperatures rise, sea ice forms later and melts earlier. The hunting season grows shorter. Bears must travel farther. And some are forced on land more often than ever before. For an animal perfectly adapted to life on ice, the future may depend on how much of that ice remains. At first glance, musk oxen look prehistoric, and in many ways they are. These remarkable animals have survived for roughly 200,000 years, enduring ice ages that wiped out countless other species. Standing shoulder to shoulder against Arctic winds, a musk ox herd resembles a living relic from another era. Despite their name, musk oxen are more closely related to goats and sheep than to cattle. Their most impressive adaptation is their coat. Beneath the shaggy outer hair lies an incredibly soft underwool called kyviot. Kyviot is among the warmest natural fibers known and helps musk oxen survive temperatures approaching -40 degrees Celsius. Winter in Greenland can be relentless, yet musk oxen continue grazing through snow and ice. Using powerful hooves, they dig through snow to reach buried vegetation. When threatened by wolves or other predators, they display one of nature's most famous defensive strategies. Adults form a circle. Calves remain protected in the center. Sharp horns point outward. Together, the herd becomes a living fortress. This strategy worked exceptionally well against ancient predators, and it still works today. Greenland is home to thousands of musk oxen, especially in remote tundra regions. But even these Ice Age survivors face new challenges. Warmer temperatures are allowing diseases and parasites to spread farther north. Scientists worry that conditions changing faster than evolution can keep pace may threaten populations in the future. For now, however, the musk ox remains one of Greenland's most enduring symbols, a survivor from a colder world. Small, lightweight, and incredibly resilient, the Arctic fox may be Greenland's ultimate survival expert. While polar bears depend on sea ice and musk oxen rely on their immense strength, the Arctic fox succeeds through flexibility. Its thick fur is among the warmest in the animal kingdom, so effective that Arctic foxes can remain active in temperatures below -50 degrees Celsius. The fox's appearance changes with the seasons. Winter coats turn brilliant white, perfect camouflage against snow. In summer, fur becomes darker, blending with tundra rocks and vegetation. Food in Greenland is unpredictable. Some years are plentiful, others are harsh. Arctic foxes respond by eating almost anything: lemmings, birds, eggs, fish, berries, even scraps left behind by polar bears. Nothing goes to waste. When food is abundant, foxes bury extra meals for later. These hidden food caches may mean the difference between survival and starvation during winter. Despite their small size, Arctic foxes can travel extraordinary distances. Some individuals have crossed vast sections of the Arctic Ocean while searching for food and territory. They are explorers of the frozen world, constantly adapting, constantly moving, and thriving where many larger animals struggle. Across Greenland's open landscapes, another Arctic specialist roams: the reindeer, known elsewhere as caribou. These graceful herbivores are among the most important mammals in Greenland's ecosystem. Unlike musk oxen, reindeer are built for movement: long legs, broad hooves, lean bodies. Everything about them is designed for travel. Their hooves are particularly remarkable. They function like natural snowshoes, spreading weight across soft snow and helping animals move across difficult terrain. During summer, reindeer feed intensively: plants, mosses, shrubs, flowers. The brief Arctic growing season must provide enough energy to survive the coming winter. Reindeer are also highly social. Groups gather for protection and migration. Many predators target the young, the old, and the weak. Safety often comes from staying together. For Greenland's indigenous communities, reindeer have long been culturally important. They provide food and have shaped human life in the Arctic for generations. Today, reindeer remain one of Greenland's most recognizable land mammals, a symbol of endurance and movement across the Arctic landscape. Some of Greenland's largest animals aren't found on land. They're found beneath the waves. Every summer, Greenland's fjords and coastal waters become highways for whales. Humpback whales arrive to feed in nutrient-rich Arctic waters. These giants can consume vast quantities of krill and small fish. Their spectacular breaches have become one of Greenland's most unforgettable wildlife sites. But humpbacks are only part of the story. Belugas, narwhals, fin whales, and other species also inhabit Greenland's waters. Among them, the narwhal stands out. Often called the unicorn of the sea, the narwhal carries a long spiral tusk that can grow several meters in length. For centuries, these mysterious whales inspired legends across Europe. Scientists now know the tusk is actually an elongated tooth packed with sensory capabilities. In icy waters, every advantage matters. Marine mammals face challenges similar to land animals. They need food, protection from predators, and access to stable habitats. Yet they also depend heavily on sea ice and ocean conditions. Changes in Arctic ecosystems affect them just as profoundly as they affect polar bears and other wildlife. The waters around Greenland remain among the most important marine habitats in the Arctic, and every summer, they come alive with some of the planet's most extraordinary creatures. When summer arrives in Greenland, the skies fill with life. Millions of migratory birds journey north to take advantage of the Arctic's brief but productive season. Cliffs become crowded nesting colonies. Seabirds gather by the thousands. Eggs hatch. Chicks grow rapidly. Everything happens at incredible speed. There is no time to waste. Species such as eiders, gulls, falcons, and other Arctic birds depend on the explosion of life that accompanies the Arctic summer. Predators quickly take notice. Arctic foxes patrol nesting grounds. Birds of prey scan for opportunities. Competition is intense. Yet the abundance of food makes Greenland one of the Arctic's most important breeding grounds. Then, almost as suddenly as they arrived, the birds depart, heading south before winter returns, leaving behind a quieter landscape, once again dominated by snow, ice, and darkness. For thousands of years, Greenland's wildlife evolved in a world shaped by ice. Today, that world is changing. The Arctic is warming faster than most other regions on Earth. Sea ice patterns are shifting. Weather is becoming less predictable. New diseases are appearing in places they were once absent. For polar bears, less sea ice means fewer hunting opportunities. For marine mammals, changing ocean conditions alter food availability. For musk oxen, warmer temperatures may increase disease risks and reshape habitats. Yet Greenland's wildlife is also remarkably resilient. These animals have survived ice ages, extreme cold, isolation, and countless natural challenges. Scientists continue monitoring populations, studying ecosystems, and learning how Arctic species respond to rapid environmental change. The future remains uncertain, but understanding these animals has never been more important, because what happens in Greenland rarely stays in Greenland. Changes in the Arctic affect weather, oceans, and ecosystems across the entire planet. Greenland is often described as a frozen wilderness, a remote corner of the world defined by ice and isolation. But look closer, and you'll find one of Earth's most extraordinary wildlife communities. Polar bears navigating drifting sea ice. Musk oxen carrying the legacy of the Ice Age. Foxes thriving against impossible odds. Whales crossing vast oceans. Birds linking continents through migration. Together, they form a living Arctic ecosystem unlike any other. Their story is one of adaptation, resilience, and survival, but it is also a story still being written. As Greenland changes, so too will the animals that call it home. The question is not whether Arctic wildlife can adapt. The question is how quickly the world around them will change, and whether there will still be room for these incredible creatures in the Arctic of tomorrow. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this journey through Greenland's wildlife, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us for more adventures into the natural world.